Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Glenwood Public Library. Today, we're going to be making a simple Mother's Day craft. Really well received. In the past, we've made it after we've gone on one of our scheduled wine trips. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we have not been able to take any trips, and we hope to resume that in the future. But a craft that we made a few trips ago was so popular, and it's such an easy and really cute craft that we decided to do it again and to show you how to make it, so that in case you have any wine lovers, especially moms that are wine lovers, because this Sunday will be Mother's Day, you can go on ahead and make one to give as a gift, or if you're a wine connoisseur, you can make it for yourself. Super easy. If you've signed up, you should have come in to pick up a kit. I'm going to show you real quick what should have been included in your kit. So you should have your direction sheet. Of course, a wine cork. If you have a wine cork from your favorite wine laying around at home, you can use that if you're making it as a gift and you know that the young lady that you're giving it to is a connoisseur of a favorite type of wine. To make a little personalization, you might want to use a cork that is very similar to ones that come in the bottles of wine that the lady enjoys. You also should receive 2 washers. You will have a key ring, which is attached to this mom keychain. I threw it in there because the keychain, you can use it for this project. You could just remove it, so you'll need a set of pliers. And if you have your own key ring that you want to attach to your wine cork when it's done, you can always pop this open and color it, and you'll have a really fancy little Mother's Day keychain for yourself. You should also have a bling strip. You should have 2 of these eye screws. And you should also have a jump ring that looks like this. So let's get started. We'll jump right in. So the first thing that you want to do is you're going to grab your wine cork and you'll grab one of the eye screws that you have. And what you'll do is right here in the middle, you'll kind of measure where your middle is. You want to go on ahead and just kind of screw your eye screw right in. You got to kind of press it in there. It's a little hard to get it into the cork. So you want to give it a little muscle there to get it inside. Just screw it all the way down as far as it'll go till it kind of tightens. It should look like this. Then you'll turn it to the opposite end and you'll do the same thing. So what I want to show you, and you may notice this as I'm doing this craft, is that I have already attached that little jump ring to the screw. If you'd like to do that beforehand, you can, because you will be applying it onto one of the ends. And then you're going to do the exact same thing here, where you are going on ahead and screwing in your eye screw into the middle of your cork. Now, if you've done what I have done and you've already put your little jump ring on it, it's going to look like this. Next thing that you'll want to do is you're going to take your key ring and you're going to want to attach it to the end that does not have the jump ring. Jump ring's here. You want this to be the bottom. Your key ring is going to be on the top. So if you have some pliers, or if you have one that's pretty easy to open, remove it from your little mom keychain, or if you have your own jump ring, keychain ring that you'd like to use, and then slide it on to your cork. So now you should be looking like this. The little jump ring should be hanging off the bottom. Your key ring should be along the top. Next thing that you want to do, and I'm going to give you some tips because I'm not doing this with this one, but this is an option. When I've looked at Pinterest, and you can look at that as well if you have access to a computer at home, check out Pinterest for some ideas, because some people I've seen have been glittering them where they kind of get some Mod Podge, or maybe they use a more tacky type of glue, and they're adding glitter onto the actual cork. That's if you want to make it really fancy. Of course, I'm sure you have to seal it some sort of way. Otherwise, that glitter is just going to rub off. But they're really cute looking. And if you're all for the bling, that might be an option that you'd want to do. So the next thing that you'll want to do is you're going to want to go on ahead. And I'm going to mention this because I didn't do it. And it's really a personal preference. All it does is it kind of adds a little bit more sturdiness to your cork, is these little washers that you got. If you like the look of it, some people don't, some people do. You can take that washer and hold it on the cork here on the end, like so, and then secure your jump ring, your screw in the middle, the eye screw. And what it does is it just kind of makes it look a little bit different. Some people like it because they can screw their eye screw a little bit tighter. And so if you see it from the side, you can kind of see that it kind of secures it a little bit more, gives it a little bit color on the end. This is not a necessary step. I did include it in there because some people like the look of that. It makes it look a little fancier, especially if you're using a silver or if you were to buy a bronze or gold washer. Just make sure that you tighten it so that you don't lose your washer. So you can do that and apply one of these washers at each end if you'd like. I'm going to leave my top ones without. I kind of prefer it without, but I've seen them with and without, so it's your personal preference. So once you have your keychain looking like this, the next thing that you want to do is you're going to take your bling strips. Now I've already cut mine, but what I did was before we got started, I kind of measured it, and what I did was I just wrapped it around the top of my cork and measured it so that it looks like this. I hope that you can see that. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bling to it, because if you're making it for yourself or for a gift, all ladies like bling, especially ones who love to drink wine. So what you'll do is you'll remove your adhesive from it and you'll wrap it right on to your cork, to your wine cork. And just make sure that you kind of hang on to it, because it gets a mind of its own sometimes. And then you'll just kind of tighten it. Now, if you're noticing that it is not staying taped well, now this adhesive is pretty good on this one. I'll hold it up so you can see. I added a little bit of bling to it. If you're noticing that your adhesive is not holding that well, another option is if you have some Aleene's tacky glue. I wouldn't use Elmer's glue. It's not as strong, even the regular one. I would use something a little tackier. So if you have some Aleene's tacky glue, I would add a little bit to it, to the top of your cork, just to give it a little bit better adhesion. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel my next I'm going to peel the next bling to put along the top of my wine cork. So you'll repeat the process along the top of your cork, like so. Just kind of glue it all the way around, secure it. So now you're already getting a pretty blinged out looking cork. The last step to this, if you haven't glittered it and everything, is once you put on the little bit of bling, I'm going to give you another helpful tip. Dollar store has these, Dollar Tree, for a whole sheet of it, and believe me, you won't use a whole sheet. You can get various colors for $1. If you're planning on making a few of these as a gift, $1 at the Dollar Tree. And if you're making more of these as gifts, these washers can be found at your local hardware store. I just went to the local Ace Hardware and picked those up. the eye screws, so the washers, the eye screws that you screwed into the ends, and even the keychain itself you can find at your local hardware store. If you go to local Ace Hardware, they have them, really inexpensive. Now, lastly, the reason that we added one of these jump rings, and you can find these in jewelry sections at a Michael's or your local Walmart, a little package of them. Occasionally, you can find them at the Dollar Tree, but that's only once in a while. They don't have them all the time. The reason that I added it to the bottom is so if you have a little tassel or if you have a special little charm, you can go on ahead and attach that here. If you have a little dangly bead, some of the little charms that I saw say something or something meaningful that you'd like to hang on there that maybe you pick up at Michael's or Joann's or Walmart, you would go on ahead and attach it here. And so then it would hang off and it kind of gives a little bit of an effect. I had a few beads. I just didn't string them on there, but I did have some beads that I was going to try to put on there. You really want something kind of dangly. If you are a person who does jewelry for yourself at home, another good thing to do is if you have some jewelry notions such as the long, I'm not quite sure what they call them, but they look almost like a large or like a long stick pin. What they're for essentially is that you put beads on them and then you use your pliers to kind of create a little circle to hold them on. If you're an avid person who does jewelry crafting, you can always do that to add to your keychain. Like I said, it's a very simple craft. When we went on our wine trip a few years back, that's where I got the idea. One of the wineries in Michigan was selling these. And I can tell you that if you are a wine drinker, of course, you have some of these wine corks at home. A lot of people save them. And there's numerous crafts that you can do. But I believe they were selling them for about $12 to $15. They honestly don't even cost but a few dollars to make. And then you can personalize them with the cork of your choice, whatever color bling you want. If you want to use a washer, if you don't want to use a washer, any of your favorite colors on there, anything that you hang off of here, any sort of charms, tassels, beads, you can personalize to your favorite color or to the recipient's favorite color. Really cute way to repurpose a wine cork and a very simple craft that you can do in the matter of minutes. So if you're making them as gifts for maybe you're a part of a wine club or you get together for a book club and some of the ladies drink wine, or if you and your friends are just avid wine drinkers and you get together and you drink wine often, this might be something that you'd like to make for one of them. They're really cute. And I will say that after I made the initial one for our last program like this, people were asking about them. So be ready for people to compliment them and to ask you where you've got them from. They're really cute and they're very simple to make. And they'll look wonderful hanging on your keychain, or if you have them hanging like off of a separate key by itself. A lot of people want to know where you find them. And I found them at the wine trip that we went to at one of the wineries. So that's the Mother's Day craft for today. Again, if you wanted to use this as your own keychain, and I included it because it will be Mother's Day. And so in case you want to make another little keychain, you'll have that as well. If not, you can always just unassemble this and just take the keychain part off and add it to your wine cork keychain. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. I hope that you make it and you love it, and that everybody compliments it, and maybe you'll even get a few requests to make some, and now you'll know how to do them. They're very simple.